Real quick, I thought I'd say something about Biden, because I know in my last video I said about how we all had to know he wasn't a human. He was like a robot or something. And I say that because, and I swear on everything this happened, the last time Biden did a debate, and I'm pretty sure it was him and Trump, and I was over at my house, and I came over to my mom's, and I walked in the living room, and she was watching it. And so I stood in there for a while and was watching. And they were on Biden, right? And I didn't say nothing. I just sat there and looking at him. And when they cut to a commercial, I told my mom, I said, Mom, I said, did you see his eyes? I said, man, he would look geeked. Like, his eyes were open, like, huge. And I said, and I watched him the whole time. I said, he never one time blinked. And I told my mom that, sitting in the living room during a commercial, that debate. And when they came back from the commercial and showed Biden again, his eyes were fucking normal. And I told my mom, I said, oh my, and then he started blinking like a bunch, like more than you think somebody would regularly blink. And I said, Mom, I said, look at his eyes. I said, they're normal now. I said, man, I think they freaking heard me say that about his eyes and fixed it. And, you know, that's probably one of the, if you didn't think I was crazy, you do now. You know, kind of like what I was saying about the Ukraine having a list, you know, trying to fight me, you know. I know, but that's just a thought. This actually freaking happened. And I was like totally blown away about it. And I never said anything to anybody else but my mom that night. And she'll back me up on that. Well, that I said that anyway. You know, that had happened. And it did. And it was really freaking crazy to see and watch. And I think maybe when I first saw his eyes, I knew something wasn't right. And that's why I watched him until they didn't show him anymore. And I'm telling you, like, they were like this big, you know, and he never fucking blinked. And it was probably a good, I don't know, however long they do that, in between, minute and a half, 2 minutes or something, that, you know, they were on just him and he never blinked or nothing. And then when he come back and his eyes were little again, and he was, you know, just constantly, it was just crazy. And that's a true story. So, you know, I don't know what that means, like I said, but you know what I picture is a freaking hand up the back of, you know, his jacket, you know, fucking puppet, you know, and somebody like literally has their hand in there. There's this episode of Angel towards the end, and it's a really messed up episode, but there's this puppet show on TV, and it's like having the kids come up to the screen, and it's like sucking their life force, and these puppets are like crazy, you know, and anyway, they end up turning Angel into a puppet, but oh, the guy who was running the show, Angel, and then before he gets turned into a puppet, they go to talk to him, and, you know, he's talking to him, and then afterwards they show that the puppet had its hand up the guy's back, you know, and then he's like, please stop, and, you know, the puppet's like, if you don't stop, you're gonna get the hand, and he's like, no, please, it's really messed up episode, man, like, what they were doing to the kids, you know, even though they were saying it was like sucking their energy, they're up against the TV, it really looked like something else was going on in that episode. I'm not going to talk about what, but I'm sure you can get it. But anyway, yeah, so what the fuck is Biden?